Well, hey there, boys and girls. VHS 82 apostrophe. Try to get a little Bill Moseley action going on. Just saw House of a Thousand Corpses on the big screen. It is the 20th anniversary. Well, technically, as Rob says in the little intro beforehand, technically 23. If you count the shelf life. Well, if you don't count the shelf life. Yeah, whatever. Technically 23, but it is. They are celebrating the 20th anniversary of this film, and so Sam and I saw it on the big screen just now. We drove separately, so unfortunately he's not here with me. But wow, oh man. Well, let's just, in case you don't get a chance, now it's supposed to play Wednesday as well, this coming Wednesday, at certain theaters around the country. I live, down here in Georgia, so I was lucky enough that it came to me. So what you got here is a nice bit of an introduction by Mr. Rob Zombie. Really just kind of nothing, explaining the making the idea behind House of a Thousand Corpses. His time at Universal lot, a little bit of what happened with the film, why it got shelved, kind of stuff. It was done for the release of this film, so that was nice. Nothing really new. I listened to Rob talk a lot, so I mean, really nothing was new other than the fact that he did it for this release, which was really, really cool. And then we got surprised after the credits rolled. There was a bit of I think it's probably the behind the scenes that probably is on the House of a Thousand Corpses disc, I would imagine. But they played that too afterwards. I had no idea they were going to do that. So that was pretty cool. I don't want to talk that long. It's House of a Thousand Corpses. Either you dug it or you didn't dig it. But I'll just say this. Like any movie like this, seeing it on the big screen, holy crap, was it... Man, I don't know what it was, but it had a completely different vibe. Sometimes when the camera shakes a little bit, there is some handheld, as you probably know, and that is definitely felt a whole lot more when you see it on the big screen like this. I would say, for me, my favorite act is the third act. Once things go underground, it just kind of takes on a whole new, almost supernatural, almost Fulcian vibe. Although, the nightmare-induced logic that really is in this movie is kind of Fulcian anyways, right? But when you go down in that subterranean cavern, whatever, the underground layer of Dr. Satan, for me, that is, I just wanted more of it. But it reminds me that I know often it's like there was a little bit of trivia for this movie beforehand, and no big surprise, I knew every one of the questions that came up on the screen. But it just reminded me, there was one question on there, what movie most inspired, or something like that. And of course, I mean, obviously it's the go-to, everyone knows it's the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, right? But really, this movie owes more to James Whale's The Old Dark House, and really Spider Baby, Jack Hill's film from '64, and James Whale's '32 film. Really owes more to those two films. It really falls. And yes, Texas falls in that line as well. So there's a bit of that, but for me, it really, I wouldn't be surprised if I was sitting down for lunch with Rob and just really got just started talking to him about it. It wouldn't surprise me at all if to find out that Spider Baby and The Old Dark House wasn't a bigger inspiration for this film than I know. I mean, Rob could have very well said before that Texas was inspirational, but I don't know, man. I've seen The Old Dark House a million times. I've seen Spider Baby enough. There are some direct, absolute, more than direct nods, maybe more to Spider Baby and The Old Dark House. In fact, The Old Dark House I forgot. And that's funny because when you see it on the big screen, of course, you catch a lot of the little things that you don't usually see when you're watching on your TV or you're not just paying attention. Like there's a poster in the phone booth when she's calling home to the elder Private Ryan from Private Ryan, of course. There's a poster in there, Missing Dog Head. I don't know if I ever saw that before, noticed that before. Of course, I remember Agatha Christie's, some of the other little things like that. But, obviously when you see something on the big screen like this for the first time, you're going to see things that you never really see on your, even if you got a 65-inch. I mean, you're just not going to really pay attention to some of the stuff. I'm saying the underground cavern, the lair, man, I'm telling you, never looked so freaking good. The house never looked so ominous. The camera angles looking up at the house were very much more pronounced for me on the big screen than they ever are watching it. Because now all of a sudden I am thinking about the camera angles looking at the Mary house in Spider Baby, or looking at even looking at the Sawyer house in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Some of these things become much more pronounced when you're watching, on the big screen. And you remember, these inspirations, right? And this family, man, they are just like the next evolution of, James Whale's family from The Old Dark House. Definitely much more twisted as a family unit, right? But even sort of, Tiny reminds you of Boris Karloff's character, a little bit, and the butler there from The Old Dark House. Once you get into the Dr. Satan's lair, obviously, just as you get down there, there's a huge nod to Spider Baby, where the Marys keep the older relatives who have degenerated because of their disease so much. They keep them down, under the floorboards, right? And I'm telling you, man, it's like when you're watching it on your TV, it's like, okay, I mean, yeah, this is like really super cool. But when you see it on the big screen, and especially when she's walking through, a tunnel system that really reminds you of the end of City of the Living Dead when they're underground, and the corpses along the wall, you meshed in cobweb and everything else. Everything is much more blah. I mean, man, it's like, I was just thinking to myself, more than I ever have, if Anthropophagus, Joe D'Amato's film, ever got remade, generally I hate remakes. And I think, well, there was Anthropophagus 2000, right? I don't want to seem like an idiot, but if it ever really got a proper remake, just the Dr. Satan's lair leading up to Dr. Satan himself, dude, right there is all I need to see. I think Rob Zombie would do an absolutely fantastic job on Anthropophagus. It would be lights out, man. And the Wayne Toth, man, he just doesn't get enough love for the work he does. And just the work that went into that underground lair system is just insane. And then the zombies underneath the water, the victims of Dr. Satan, right? Rainn Wilson, man, that whole scene between him and Sid Haig, wow, it's so much more, again, pronounced, right? You could just tell there's a moment there, man, when Sid Haig just takes control of the conversation, man, and really starts to intimidate the crap out of him, and it just shows in his face, man. I'm so glad they left that in there like that. Such a great moment. My son, now Sam, really loved the gas station scene at the beginning. I had stopped first. I don't know why they're honking at me. But anyways, he really, that in the layer system underground. Of course, that third act. He really wished the girl would have got away at the end, but in Rob's movie, that's just not going to happen. Yeah, so and the whole baby show when she comes on to do her act there is pretty fantastic as well on the big screen. Everything is just better when you see it on the big screen. Physical media is where it's at, obviously, but also that just seeing stuff on the big screen the way it was meant to be seen is pretty stinking awesome. I'm just trying to think what else, man. The scene of obviously the scene where Taos' character, the brother of Sheriff Wildell, when him and his partner and the elder Private Ryan all show up at the house. That crane scene, man. It feels like on the big screen, it feels like it goes on forever and ever and ever. I thought that scene felt long just watching it on TV. In the theater, it just felt like, dude, like you're just sitting there forever and a day. I'm just like, for a second there, I thought maybe the screen had just paused or something. Like something went wrong with the film. And then boom. Right, the shot. Oh man. I could go on and on and on. It was, look, it's going to be Wednesday as well. Certain areas. I know Jason or Horrific Nightmares, our Tuesday reviewer at BodyBags, is seeing it as well. He's in Maryland, I think, somewhere out that way. So take a look, man. If you missed it today, Sunday. If you missed it today, man, you still might get a chance to actually see it. If it's something that you've been wanting to do or just get under your belt, man. It's always fun to see these things on the big screen like they were meant to be. And to get Rob's intro is pretty awesome as well. Hear him talk about it for a little bit. Not as long as I wanted it to be, but nowhere as short as I feared it would be, if that makes sense to you. And then the bonus feature of just getting the behind the scenes at the end was pretty good. So I'm about to pull in my driveway, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and cut it here. And yeah, you get a chance to see it. Wow. I'm so glad I did. Just to get it once under my belt. That's pretty cool, man. Anyways, as always, go Bills.